The following podcast contains potentially tough subject matter, controversial topics, and/or strong language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Orcas are just sea pandas.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Knights of the Wrong Table podcast. I am Sir Percival.
I am Sir Bors.
And I am Sir Galahad.
And we are definitely sitting at the wrong table.
All right, so what's our topics for this
First on the agenda, we're going to talk about the Santa Fe shooting that was this last week.
All right.
Well, it was a deadly Texas high school shooting. It was identified as a 17-year-old. The governor, Greg Abbott, said that 10 people were killed and 10 others were wounded in the shooting. Friday morning, which I'm not aware of the date.
What was the gun that was used?
Shotgun and a revolver.
A shotgun and a revolver. So no quote-unquote assault rifles.
Assault weapons, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a shooter in custody. He also had explosive devices, including a Molotov cocktail that were found in the school and nearby.
17?
They are calling it assault. They are calling it the assault. Like they said, the assault was one of the most heinous attacks that I've ever seen in the history of Texas schools. Police found pressure cookers and pipe bombs around the school.
Holy cow.
He was ready to take this place down. Like, to completely burn it. I'm glad that, not more people were hurt, and it sucks that
How was he
hurt.
taken down?
Among the dead were a substitute teacher and several students.
Is this from CNN?
This is CBS News.
CBS,
This
okay.
is from CBS. Oh, about your question about what was used, it was a 38 and a shotgun. A 38 revolver and a shotgun.
38 revolver?
Yeah,
Okay.
were the things that were used in the assault on him. They were legally owned by his father, and he stole them from his father.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I do know, they said that they found like a note where he confessed to it, or whatever, and he was saying that he was planning on committing suicide.
Oh.
Yeah.
After.
2 other people were being questioned. One person who was acted suspiciously at the scene, and the other who may have information and needed to be fully interviewed. A school resource officer was shot and injured during the shooting. Another law enforcement officer was reported injured but was not shot.
Okay.
So we don't know what happened with that. Said the male suspect, who he didn't identify, was in custody, and a person of interest was detained and questioned. Both were believed to be students. The suspect, the guy who actually did this, played junior varsity football, and was a member of the dance squad at the school.
So that's what did it.
Do you think that? No. Do you think that he was maybe ridiculed for people, and that's kind of maybe what drove him to it? Well, he was varsity JV. Sorry, he was in JV football, but he's also dance. Do you think that? I feel like it could depend on the school, and maybe his teammates were really supportive of him, or maybe his teammates didn't know.
There's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot of pro athletes that actually do ballet.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps people in shape. It's an intense, crazy sport.
Saying, like, no one like badmouths people who are on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody talks bad about anybody like that.
I mean, it would depend on the area. Yeah, it's Texas, so. But is it like a city school? Because if
I don't know if he was.
I mean, it's
planning
gotta be
on
a pretty big school to have a dance class. Cause
Yeah,
I know
no,
our
if
school
it's-
did.
Yeah, and ours was definitely not. But no, I don't think bullying has. I don't know. He was on the football team.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't want to clue it out because anything's possible. But
Yeah, I mean, I know that in where we went to high school, it didn't matter if you were on the football team. You still, you didn't necessarily have that brotherhood that they kind of show in movies, but you still were, a little close, and you knew people.
Yeah,
and you still would see them and say, "Hey, what's up? Like, how you doing?" But you would
smack on the tush and walk on by.
Yeah, good game, buddy. One of the teachers from the high school said that. She said, "quote He was quiet, but wasn't quiet in a creepy way." Unquote.
What's a creepy way?
What does quiet in a creepy way mean? Does that mean like hair across the face, staring at you with like ill intent?
Oh, well, I think that's a little
Like
bit stereotyping.
walks into the classroom and scrapes fingernails along the chalkboard.
Only speaks to themselves.
What state are you from? Constant despair.
No, dude. My question is, what's his home life like? That's
probably won't say because the family said they weren't going to make a statement until after the investigation.
And they don't. And somewhere in here they said that. Well, he recently posted a photo of him wearing a T-shirt that read "Born to Kill" on Facebook. And there were also photos of a long green jacket with Nazi regalia on it.
See that. Yeah, dude. I more or less. School is school, and I get that. I get that. I was absolutely bullied in high school, but middle school, not high school. I had my wonder years in high school, but like no, the one that gets me the most is the home life. Because if the home life's awful, then they're just going to take it out at school.
I haven't seen anything on it yet, but they did say that they don't know if the father knew that he had anything with him, that he had taken his guns. I'm going to assume not. I'm going to assume...
Yeah, because that can be like the morning of, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, let's see. The suspect had information in journals, on his computer, and on his cell phone that indicated he wanted to commit the shooting and take his own life afterwards. The suspect gave himself up and told authorities that he did not have the courage to take his own life. But he posted the phrase "dangerous days" on social media before the rampage along with a pentagram symbol. So, yes, pentagram. Devil worship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So I'm assuming home life was... I mean, he could have just been messed up in his own ways, was quiet, reserved, away from kind of secluded himself from his family, and they didn't really know.
I mean, he could have
how to bring
just
him out of
been.
that. But also, he could have been abused. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it.
Could have just been incredibly just evil.
True. I mean, there are evil people.
Yeah.
Evil people indeed. And I want to say this now because I didn't get a chance to say it before, but anybody who was affected by this shooting, anybody who's affected, family, friends.
Oh,
teachers,
we're definitely not making light of it.
We're not making light of it. Our prayers, thoughts, and our hearts go out to anybody who was affected by this. But we're just kind of giving our opinions and speculating on things that we don't know for sure. We're just kind of talking through it and seeing what comes out.
Yeah.
So we're by no means making fun of anybody who's been affected, making light of a terrible, tragic situation that has happened, and it's been happening more recent in the past few years. We don't want to make that into a joke. We know it's a very serious thing, and we're not going to take that as, an opportunity to make light. This is going to sound awful, but I know that tragedy plus time equals jokes.
Yeah, no, and I have a horrible tendency of laughing at awkward moments. So
that's how you deal with it.
That's how I deal with it. It's really how I deal with
Me
it.
too. Me too.
It was after a funeral of like a family member or something. Like the first thing you said to me was a joke, and I was like, it's okay.
It's okay. They're there.
Was it one of my family members?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do that, man.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to deal with shit. So it's like we'll have to bleep that one out in post. But
we what? I think I told you this one yesterday. What? No, I did not tell you this one. What holiday is the? Oh, we shouldn't say holiday. It's bad. What day was the?
We don't want to offend those that don't celebrate holidays.
Was the worst or the best storyteller? Sorry. What day was the best storyteller?
I don't know.
9/11 went through 43 stories pretty quick.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, well, we're off to a great start.
I told that one when I went to the beach with my girlfriend, and she had to pull over to the side of the road, and because she was laughing too hard.
Oh, God.
She was like, "That was one of the best jokes I've heard in a very long time."
Oh.
Yeah. So
off to a great start. Great. No, so I wonder how long this was going to be. Sorry to get political about it, but like, I wonder how long this was going to stay in the media, to stay like on the news, because it doesn't fit any of the actual because it doesn't match the Parkland shooting
Yeah.
at all, and the Parkland shooting lasted for months.
Yeah.
It was an AR, it was an assault type rifle, and it just lasted. And there was kids from that school that just propagandized like all of it. And I wonder how long this one's gonna last because it involves a shotgun and a revolver.
Yeah, they're not quote unquote assault weapons.
Yeah, and those are the quote unquote weapons that the gun control advocates want us to keep.
I think it's going to be a real kick in the teeth for those who are, on that horse of assault weapons being the problem.
Yeah,
It's going to be a real kick in the teeth because neither of those are, technically considered an assault weapon. But I mean, you can use anything as an assault weapon as long as it's, something used in an assault.
Somebody.
Yeah, something in an assault is considered an assault weapon. But I'm saying like assault rifles, assault guns.
Dude, and then also on top of that, the age limit. He's 17 years old. So
it wasn't his. He didn't buy them. He didn't get them from.
18 is the age requirement though to buy a shotgun.
Yeah, which is
to buy a shotgun, but not. And 21's the requirement
for handguns.
Is it in all states or just most states?
Is it handguns or is it concealed carry? I know concealed carry is 21.
Handguns. Period. You can't even buy handgun ammo unless you're 21.
See, that's ridiculous.
You're absolutely correct. Cause
I think,
but you can own one if you're younger. I think in Virginia you can technically open carry if you're over 18.
Yeah.
But you can't go out and buy one.
Yeah.
Until you're 21.
I think out of handguns, that's the most bogus. I can understand. I could give somebody leeway for big shotguns, rifles, anything like that. But when it comes down to, it'll be alright. When it comes down to handguns, one of the college girls, man, the girls that go straight from high school to college and they're now on their own. Like I feel like they should be able to protect themselves.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Like they can't go out and buy their own, or at least girls that don't not go to college, but at least go out and move out on their own. Like most guys can usually fist fight their way out of anything, but most
or at
girls,
least try.
Yeah. But most girls can't really fist fight their way out of dudes that want to rape.
Yeah. I like the roll R on the rape.
The emphasis on the P at the end.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not to say that women can't defend themselves. We're not saying that at all. We're saying that
that's
it's just more often. Yeah, more often than not, guys.
Yeah, no, I would lose against Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah,
and I just beat myself up for it.
let me do this right now. But yeah, it's. I mean, more often than not, most guys are going to be bigger than girls and just
how it works, man.
way more, and that's just genetics and how things work. But
and most guys are pretty aggressive.
It's talking about. It's not just guns though. If they want to try to defend themselves, knives. When are we start going to do bans on knives?
Britain's already doing that.
You know what the requirements are?
You're not allowed to carry a knife
at all.
Like there's probably a blade length requirement, like in Virginia.
No, like they were actually actively pushing a ban on knives because and so the big thing that they were having troubles with is kitchen knives, for knives that you were using in the kitchen because they were trying to pass this legislation and they were arresting people for having knives. But what happens if I'm driving home from the grocery store and I just bought a new knife set?
Yeah.
Do I get arrested for it? And that was one of the biggest things.
See, here's the thing though, if you ask any normal person, a knife is a tool. Yeah, it's used to cut things. Yeah. But I mean, my knife, I have one. It's a pry bar. I use it to cut.
Well, see,
use it to...
one of the big anti-gun advocates. One of the you'll use a gun is a tool routine. It's not a weapon, it's a tool. One of the big things, it's it's a tool to kill people. Well,
that's why guns were developed, were to kill.
Well, they were developed for self-defense and
hunting.
Yeah, but still, they were developed to kill.
Yeah.
That's kind of the big thing with it. Yeah. And with knives, they weren't made to kill. They were made to skin, already dead animals. They were made to hollow out trunks of trees.
Yeah.
They were made for a tool. That's exactly why knives are made. I mean, because I know that in most states, you can't open carry a knife over a certain length. Actually,
it can't be concealed.
It can't be concealed over a certain length.
Yeah.
But I know that.
I think you can carry around a machete.
Yeah, well, in Virginia there isn't a limit.
Yeah.
There's only certain types of knives.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Like stilettos and stuff like that.
No, those are legal. No spring-loaded mechanical
Yeah.
weapons. I think that's the only one that I remember. But there's
and it specifically mentions propulsion blades.
Yeah, like ballistic knives.
Yeah.
Like shootable knives.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
those are so cool.
like
Though.
CO2.
Those are so cool though. Let's be real.
They are
here.
really cool. Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, I mean, because I got a butterfly knife a while back, and I had to look into it because I wanted to hold it on me. It was the one I got.
Right.
The one I got. Yeah, I looked into it. It's fine, but the one I got was just a practice one. But I still didn't want it to be illegal for me to have a butterfly knife, and then I'd be like, oh, it's just a practice knife.
Yeah.
And have to explain that, but still, I mean, and it's weird because you see all these weird blades like karambits, the curved like tiger tooth.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those perfectly legal.
Oh yeah.
As long as they're not concealed.
Here's the thing about those though.
We went to a bowling alley one time and I had it on my belt.
Yeah, I remember that. But like those things are so impractical because if you use it to cut things like you would with a normal knife.
I'm going to cut this apple.
Well, I mean the blade dulls, and it is incredibly difficult to sharpen a blade with the curve going the opposite direction of what it should.
Yeah.
Because you can't put it on a regular stone. You have to get like a special.
You're talking about the karambit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, most karambits are double bladed. Most
are they?
Most are two-sided because they were used by I believe Israeli.
Oh right, sorry. Let me turn it off.
Israeli special forces. They're trained to use karambits. They have them as backups.
Israel's just an awesome place.
Oh, tell me about it. No, dude. If there's one place that I wanted to at least join the military, it would probably be for the Jews. I mean, Israel.
All right, we've kind of moved away from this, so let's move on to the next thing that I had was CNN actually. I think it might have been CNN, it might have been NBC. I'm not 100% sure, so don't
Was
quote
it
me on
MS-13?
Yeah, he in a speech because there was a 14-year-old girl who was raped, kidnapped, and sold by MS-13 members. And when this came about, Trump said something about how MS-13 people, the people that are in the gang, more often than not are illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
And those people talking about MS-13 members are animals and should not be allowed to live. And I agree, 100%. They are, like, their code is literally rape control.
Kill.
Yeah, rape, kill, control.
Yeah.
That's their motto. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And he said that MS-13 members are animals, and CNN cut out the MS-13 part,
or at least the beginning question of it, which is absolutely
which is ridiculous.
The fact that like any president, whether it has to go back and reiterate and say that I was talking about MS-13 and you got me out of context is absolutely sad.
Yeah, and Glenn Beck covered this. He said that he showed two different clips. It's the same clip, but one was edited, one was not. One was the one that this news station used, and it was the edited one where it makes it sound like he's talking about immigrants, just immigrants.
Oh yeah.
And it's horrible. It's awful. Like you would see this and go, "Wow, that's crazy. Our president's an ass. He's talking about how immigrants are animals." But no, if you watch the actual interview that was conducted, he was asked the question, "What are your thoughts on the MS-13 situation?" And he said, "I think that those people are animals."
Yeah, those people are.
And Glenn Beck himself, who has been
a never
Trump, hates Trump, hates everything he does, said himself and put in the video, he puts on a "Make America Great Again" hat and says, "In 2020, I will be voting for Donald Trump." And
that's what's so sad is that if they're trying to beat him, which they have obviously have every right, they're trying to beat him in the next election, they need to stop actually putting out real fake news, because then they're going to continue that's absolutely crazy. You can't take him that completely out of context.
Well, here's my thing. At what point do people go and realize, people who just watch CNN for news, that's their news
because
station.
they only
like. But there's got to be some point where you realize you have some accountability, and you go, "Wow, like they're lying to me."
Yeah, no, that's the thing, is that they are.
I mean, I realize most people want to believe that lie, but at what point do you come to your sense and realize it's a lie?
It's because 90% of the ones that they mess up on, and this, my hunch. Like 90% of the ones that they mess up on, most of the people just watch the first one and just like, oh crap, Donald Trump did this one thing, and then the ones that they genuinely go out and correct, then the people that just believe the 90%, they just go, oh, there's their one mistake. Yeah. Oh, look at them correcting it. And it's all like, oh, they always correct their mistakes.
Have they put out like a statement or anything about that?
I have no idea.
I just found this article in New York Times that said that...
former news... So, go on.
Said, consider this week's implications by major news organizations that the president described all illegal immigrants as animals during a White House roundtable with California officials. That was indeed a wretched thing for him to say, is what they say. But they said that he did not. The Associated Press admitted as much when it deleted a tweet about the remark, noting it wasn't made clear that he was speaking after a comment about gang members.
Oh, bull.
Yeah. Specifically, he was speaking after a comment about members of the Salvadoran MS-13 gang, infamous for ultra-violent methods. Not ultraviolet, ultra-violent.
Above visible light.
And quasi-satanic rituals. To call MS-13...
Hey, I love Quasi.
Quasi, yeah.
Quasi's my favorite
Quasimodo was great.
Yes.
To call MS-13 animals is wrong only because it is unfair to animals, is what they say.
Oh, yeah, no, dude. Seriously.
So, they're kind of defending him. They're saying that, he was on the wrong, that they were deleting everything. But yeah, and this is kind of old news now, but did you see where he admitted to paying off that porn star?
I did not see that. No.
He admitted that he paid her to not talk about it.
My thing is...
But they started investigating because there were other payments that they don't know where they went to.
Okay, so did he admit that he paid her off? Or
he admitted that there were payments made to her to keep quiet.
There's the question.
That's my question. Does he get a refund now?
That's another.
That's a good question. That's a solid question. I don't know. It could have been, if they signed something over it, that could be somewhere in there.
My question is I don't care.
My question is I don't care.
No. It's like when people voted for Donald Trump, they knew that he was a playboy. How on God's green earth did you not see him sleeping with a porn? My biggest thing is that she thinks that she's holier than thou at this point. She could have given away the money. She could have given it back if she actually wanted to, like, I'm coming out. I don't want the money. Here. And I want to talk about how god-awful Donald Trump was.
Yeah, I mean...
Give back the money. Or give it to charity.
And...
Do you know that she actually has a career, like a tour, where she's going to strip clubs, and it's called Make America Horny Again. I'm not kidding.
That's awesome.
So
I aspire to be that famous and rich.
So you want to look at me and tell me that this is all for naught? You're trying to just go for the big women picture when there's actual the rape that's going on out there, and you're just you're hogging the spotlight for something that's rape. Oh, right.
There's don't know where I was going with that. I thought about it when I was looking this up.
I killed your thought.
And I just completely forgot about it. And it'll probably come back to me. We'll see.
Probably. Maybe. Who cares?
Maybe. So, Deadpool. Massive spoilers ahead for anybody who hasn't seen Deadpool. We're going to talk about this movie and our thoughts on it. We recently saw it. The date today that we're recording this is May 20th. Deadpool came out 2 days ago.
Obviously, with calendars and
yes,
stuff.
But I mean, I, myself, and my girlfriend went and saw it on Friday night. These guys went and saw it last night. So
not together.
If...
Yeah, I know, right?
If not, they're not dating. Yet. There's... Yet. High fives. So... Yeah, so there's going to be spoilers. We're going to talk about some things that are in the movie and reveal a bunch of stuff.
You'll be able to
you can skip ahead
yeah.
if you don't want to hear anything about it, but if you don't care, here we go. Thoughts? What do you think? What did you think of the movie compared to the first one or just standalone?
I love the fact that he Winnie pooed. He Winnie the pooed. Straight up.
What do you mean by Winnie the Pooh?
He's talking about the scene with his
baby where legs. He's only wearing a shirt. And
yeah.
He's got baby legs. And he's
the baby legs.
No, dude. I loved it. I loved all the new characters they added into it.
Well, for like 10 minutes, and then they all died. The absolute best one had to have been Peter.
And it's the only one he saved.
Yeah, I know. Well, that we see.
No, but he couldn't have saved the rest because the rest of them died on impact.
Well, I mean...
the rest of them
told
died on
Peter
impact.
to walk away.
Yeah,
So
okay. Well, but look at it this way. What upset me the most about this movie was that there are a lot of things in the trailers that you see that were not in the movie. And I'm talking about the X-Force. There's a lot of stuff in the trailers of the X-Force actually fighting. And of Shatterstar fighting with his swords, Bedlam hitting, punching people. Yes, it's good marketing because, I mean, if you look at Halo 4, or 5, sorry. It was 5.
Yeah.
Halo 5, the way they marketed it was this huge turf battle
Yeah.
between Master Chief and Spartan Locke. And, they kind of marketed it as you choose which side you want to be on, and that's how it goes. But it turned out to not be that, and it turned out that they came together and faced another enemy, which was out of the blue. I did not see that coming. And
I think that was the main point.
Amazing.
I think that was the main point, is that's what made the punchlines of them all dying so great.
It was
because nobody
amazing.
saw it coming.
It was amazing.
It was.
And did anybody notice that the Vanisher was Brad Pitt?
I didn't have time. I thought
When you see it's Brad Pitt.
I recognized
in the credits,
him,
it's Brad Pitt.
and I couldn't figure it out because it flashed so fast.
Yeah.
And you never see Brad Pitt look the same way twice.
I know.
Like
we talked about that the other day.
Yeah, the first two movies I saw
him and Chris Evans are the guys in Hollywood that never have the same hairstyle when you see them on interviews.
Yeah.
Ever.
But like the first two movies I saw Brad Pitt in was Troy and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You go
Fantastic
from Troy, clean shaven face, blonde long hair. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, buzzed head and kind of like scruffy 5 o'clock shadow.
And he's got black hair.
Yeah.
He's got black hair, and then he does that one. Is it Burn After Reading? I think it's Burn After Reading, where he's like this super primo runner dude that gets shot in the face. Maybe.
I don't know.
I've
never seen it. Never heard of it.
And he's got brown hair. He's got short brown hair, and he's all like,
Shaw did.
For sure, dude.
It's like some za.
But yeah, well, again on that the commercial things is there was one commercial of Peter when he goes to interview, and they were like, "What do you have any superpowers?" And he was like, "I have type 1 and type 2 diabetes." Well, what is it? What is his line about? When he's putting on sunscreen, and he goes.
He hasn't killed as many people as melanoma has.
Yes. He goes, this guy's killed a lot of people. Hasn't killed as many people as melanoma has. Like rubbing sunscreen on his face. That was amazing.
Yeah.
No.
I think it would have been better though if the Vanisher wasn't even an actual character. Like,
if there was literally nobody there the entire time.
Yeah, the interview, like they just had the bag like resting, or someone like slid the bag off the plane, the parachute bag off.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, "Go Vanisher, go!"
That, or what I was expecting is that they would play it through the whole movie as if there actually was nobody there, and then he would just appear out of nowhere, and they'd be like, "Oh, so you actually did come with us," and that kind of thing. But fantastic movie. I loved it from start to finish. I mean, it starts and it's heart-wrenching, and towards the end it's heart-wrenching too, and it's really dramatic, and I loved it. And
I was kind of surprised that they were able to put like that much of an emotional.
Yeah, I mean, it almost brought me to tears. It was like kind of got choked up over it.
And it actually had a moral story in it.
I loved it.
Oh,
it was fantastic.
Whereas the first one was straight up revenge.
Yeah, I didn't know where they were going to go with it.
The first one, and see, I love how they were able to, now that they've built the Deadpool character, they were able to actually give him the Deadpool characteristics of like the comic books, where he's like driving the vehicle with his sword and like he's looking through his legs.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that was amazing. And Domino, can we talk about Domino?
Dom.
Luck's not a superpower.
Luck's not a superpower.
I think
yes,
it is.
it is.
Yes,
He's like,
it is.
yes, it is.
It's not very cinematic as like slow motion things are like flying over top of her and everything.
I'm in. You're what?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm already in.
Oh, okay. That character is awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was
Oh, she's hot,
It's
too.
hysterical. Yeah. What is her name?
Domino.
No, like the actress.
Dom.
It's Zazie Beetz is the girl's name that plays her.
Her name's Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz. Beetz.
No, I'm sorry. No. How? Okay, never mind.
Hey, when you're that rich, you can pick your own name.
I mean,
No, it's fine.
Jay-Z.
Ice Cube.
Jay-Z, Zazie Beetz,
Ice
bro.
JJ Fish.
Okay, yeah,
GMC
Brad Pitt.
show,
Brad Pitt is
whatever
100%
that
the Vanisher.
I told you. Yeah. I was looking in the credits. I'm wondering.
I honestly, I thought I recognized him.
I was like, I leaned over and I was like, was that Brad Pitt?
no, I didn't want to say anything because it's like
I don't know.
was
Vanisher
really-
might still be alive. No, he is dead.
On fire, just falls into the end of the street.
Uh,
So a girlfriend brought up a good point, and it's that when his legs were
Do we get ripped in
reforming,
half?
yeah, when he gets ripped in half, when his legs reform,
I
would
think-
they still have the skin messed up, the burnt skin, because they're new,
Yeah.
or would the
'Cause
burnt
it's the
skin
same-
just
It's the cancerous skin.
yeah?
It's all all of his cancerous cells. My big question is why aren't they making the baby limbs cancerous?
Here's my question.
Because
Does his detached legs grow an upper half?
No, because I think that there's an actual central,
I think it has to be from his head.
or like from chest something.
I think it has to be from his head because when he kills himself,
Yeah, and his head's
his
fine.
head explodes.
Yeah, and
Or,
it's just
but his head, it's just his head, and the rest of his body's everywhere. And they take him back in a bag. So either what it could be is a proximity thing. If his body parts are close enough together that they'll reform, but I don't think it's that way because of the legs.
Yeah, and like
Or it just he just regrows from the head down, and that his head was regrowing in the bag as he was taking him to the mansion.
Possible.
That I mean we don't know
Or
because we
he-
didn't see him.
Or Colossus was trying to get rid of the body parts because
True.
that's got to be an awkward thing. I
Or-
wonder if he has like a little area where he has all of his body parts just
Ever.
buried, just buried.
That or he has a room where they're framed.
or
They're
there's
framed
like-
with a plaque of how it happened.
Or now there's 20 Deadpools walking around.
And they meet. Oh god, that could make for one hell of a movie.
Ah.
The 20 Deadpools fighting like one thing.
Did you know that Deadpool actually, like, he was Ryan Reynolds is basically chosen to play Deadpool by the writers of Deadpool and like Deadpool himself.
Oh yeah.
Because in one of the comics, Deadpool describes himself as a mix between Ryan Reynolds and somebody else.
Yeah, I think it was like in one of the video games that they made, like the newer one that came out in like.
Because Ryan Reynolds even voiced it,
2015.
right? Didn't he voice
Nolan
it?
North,
wasn't
Nolan
the
North did.
voice.
Nolan North did for the video game.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think there's a Ryan Reynolds comment in that.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds has been like on Deadpool for like.
Well, he loves it. He grew up with it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, and so that's. He's literally slated.
And the fucking comment that Weasel makes, TJ Miller's character,
Yeah.
about Canada, and he goes, "You shut your fucking mouth." It was perfect. It was amazing. I'm gonna go see it again with my family.
Oh, yeah.
I have to. It's
That's
so
another
good.
one when it hits the $3 theater. I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch it like $12 worth.
yeah, of course. It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. If you
so
haven't
good.
seen it yet and you're still listening, go see it right now. It's fantastic.
And we're sorry for ruining it. No,
I mean-
I'm not
No,
sorry.
no, we're
I
not.
regret nothing.
Ugh.
It's a fantastic movie. You don't see a lot of stuff coming, to be honest.
All right, so now that we're on the whole superhero track, what do you think about the Avengers? We really didn't get to talk about that when it got released. Yeah, spoilers.
I'm sad.
I would say, yeah.
I mean,
spoilers. but
spoilers
it's
for
been
the
out
4 people that haven't seen it yet.
Honestly, if you haven't seen it at this point,
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, just feel good. Like, I'm not feeling good, Mr. Stark. Just leave. Just disappear.
fades
Cigarette
into,
ass.
fades
We,
into existence.
we
No.
were playing Destiny too, and one of the missions, the final the boss that you kill like falls over and like starts evaporating into like flakes, and I was like, the first time we played it, I was like, Oh, I'm not feeling good, Mr. Stark. And we lost it laughing.
Oh, dude, that was like the greatest meme for like ever.
Forever.
It was just like everybody was just like.
Did you see the one? It was of a PowerPoint, and it had just a spider in the PowerPoint, and then they had like the transition effect where it like crumbles away.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm not feeling good, Mr. Stark.
No, and so my favorite one that I saw was the old Windows logo, where it starts as like and it fades. Like,
I'm not feeling good, Gates.
It's I think it was even like I'm not feeling too good. Bill Gates.
Yeah. So, did you like Josh Brolin as Thanos or Cable better?
I think the thing that shocked me the most is how short he is.
He is really short.
He is really short.
And so is Robert Downey Jr. He has to wear like platforms.
He had to wear stilts through all the movies to be like equal height. Because Chris Evans is 6 foot.
Yeah.
And he had to wear like platform shoes to be able to be face to face with him in some of the movies.
Yeah, no, but I think that was the biggest thing.
Robert Downey Jr. For both Infinity War movies is going to be paid $200 million total for both movies.
Hey, if he wants to throw 10% my way, I will gladly open arms.
Not to mention what he's already made for the other movies. Like Spider-Man, he made $14 million for Spider-Man, and he was in it for 2 scenes.
Yeah, I was going to say he had like all of like 3 lines in that movie.
Yeah, dude, that is ridiculous.
That man is rich. He's making Tony Stark money now.
Oh, he's making Tony Stark money now. He'll be actually.
I was gonna say he has an actual Iron Man suit, like fully functioning.
The $300,000 Iron Man suit they used for the first movie was stolen from their warehouse.
Aww.
Yeah, so they don't know where the Iron Man suit went. Somebody stole it.
The black and the metal one or the actual.
I think the very first gold and
golden red.
Yeah.
Hot rod one. I would have stolen the freaking one that he jerry rigged in the desert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome. That was awesome.
Like freaking fire extinguisher propelled.
Yeah. Let's take a quick moment to thank our sponsors. Just kidding, we don't have sponsors.
Just kidding.
Air. It's free. Air. It's free.
Just sit back, relax, and
breathe some air.
Breathe some air.
Untaxed, unfiltered since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Thneedville.
Or on planet Spaceballs.
Yes. I've never watched that. I've never watched that whole movie.
Oh, it's fantastic. I have his entire Blu-ray collection.
The one movie that my girlfriend has actually seen is Spaceballs, and like when I'm speeding down the road, she'll like go ludicrous speed.
She's great. Yeah, I mean, he's been telling me that we're gonna watch them since we were.
I bought him all of them
in elementary school.
My Christmas present.
Yeah, I bought him literally every Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, he's been telling me we're gonna watch them since like
one of the best ones you should probably watch is like History of the World Part 1.
Yeah, there is no Part 2.
There is no Part 2.
That's the one I was telling you about that has that the Spanish Inquisition's a musical number.
Yes.
The Inquisition. Oh, it's
will you confess? No. It's like, will you repent?
Is he skiing
no,
or is he in a gay porn? Is he skiing or is he in a gay porn?
But yeah, I gotta watch them again. I love those movies.
Should we put a viewer discretion as advised before?
Probably.
We should put a discretion as viewer advised.
I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it.
You're free to watch this video should you choose.
Should you choose?
Law and Order.
I was about to say use the Law and Order thing. These are their stories.
Dibs on being Ice Cube though. I'll just be genuinely.
It's Ice T.
It's Ice Cube.
They're all the same. No,
Ice Cube is NWA.
But no.
Is that Ice T? It's lemonade.
It's like.
No, so no, I'll be Ice T. I definitely Dibs because I'll be genuinely confused about all the rape that happens. Even though I work there. You ever watch him? He's genuinely confused all the time about all the rapes. He's all like, so you're telling me...
We got another rape case? It's all we do.
It's all we do, man. It's literally all we do.
She was touched.
Oh Oh, we're off to a
Oh
good start.
Lord. Jesus.
Yeah, but so Avengers: Infinity War.
It was fantastic. I loved it. I almost cried. I didn't cry, but I almost cried.
The only thing I didn't like about it, and I understand why they had to do it, was the fact you couldn't just like sit down and like follow one person. It cut like from one person to the next. Like you had to follow the Guardians, then you had to follow Thor, and then like they met, and then they split, and then you had to go back to Tony, and then you had to go to Tony in space.
They kept splitting. Like there was going to be like 10 stories going on at once.
I think what they should have done is put Bugs Bunny in the middle of Titan, the metal detector. That's how they could have gotten the gauntlet. Hey, Doc, sorry, sir, but we gotta put you through the metal detector. Gotta come off, bud. And he's like, come on, man, we got travelers waiting. And he turns around, there's like 100,000 Bugs Bunny standing behind him. And he just kind of turns around and like it looks confused and is like starting to sweat. And he's like, all right. And he like takes it off, and then they just leave.
No, here's my thing. If I know Doctor Strange like took the time stone out so it couldn't be stolen, which it got stolen anyway. Why didn't he just stop time, get Spider-Man and Tony to like out with him like in the time freeze? While Thanos is still frozen in time, and remove the glove. Right?
No, there's a lot of holes. There's absolutely a lot of holes.
I mean, I know they had to do this to set up for the next movie, set up for Captain Marvel, and like all that.
And people were freaking out. They were like, I didn't think anybody was supposed to die. Spider-Man can't die. They just introduced him. Black Panther can't die. He just introduced him. They're not dead. The whole point of like the definition of the Soul Stone is that it puts them in a different like realm.
No, and then like on top of that, you dude, all of the characters, it's an easy Google search to. Oh, sorry, I'm a clapper.
We need some clapper lights, so every time you do it, the lights flicker, so you'll stop.
Okay, I get it. No, you can do an easy Google search to figure out all of the Marvel movies that are coming out. It's an easy one, and like then you'd be all like, so that's why when Spider-Man died, that's when Spider-Man died, I didn't believe it because it's like no.
Well, here's the thing.
I can believe some of the characters dying and not coming back. I really could. But the second Spider-Man died, it literally just...
It broke your immersion?
Yeah, it did. Because even though they tried so hard to get you to really fall in love with the fact that he's dying, or no!
It was heart-wrenching. It
was almost too heart-wrenching for me. It almost made it unbelievable.
Well, because I was so invested with it.
He's still supposed to be like the ninth grader.
He's not. Yeah. Well, he's in high school. He's supposed to be like 16, 17.
Yeah.
He's like the part that I struggled with in like watching it was that I was so invested in that movie that when it came to that, I didn't see it as he's probably gonna come back. I saw it as shit, he's dying.
Yeah.
And all of it, whenever they left, it kind of just it hurt. Watching that.
No, I mean,
as somebody who was really invested in it.
No, I get it. In the moment of it all, like seeing all of them die, I was like, wait a minute, what? I was so confused.
As someone who always looks at like the logical side of it, when the moment that Black Panther was one of the ones that like dusted off, I was like, that's not going to stay because so far he is the top grossing character.
Or at least
he made more money than Thor Ragnarok, and Thor Ragnarok beat like every other superhero movie.
Did it really?
Yeah.
And he's also the most politically charged character too.
He was politically charged because people made him politically charged.
You're absolutely correct.
It wasn't. It was. There was an underlying tone of it was made to be a statement, but it wasn't specifically made for that.
No, it wasn't. And like the movie was great. It's just
I 100% I agree with it. It should have been done. It was good. It meant a lot for a lot of people. And I personally, because I'm not black, but I know a lot of black people that were affected in a really good way by that movie and what it meant. And that's awesome.
No,
but I personally did not see the movie because of it. I saw the movie because it was a Marvel movie and it was a cornerstone character for the Infinity War.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and it was... it was a good movie.
Yeah.
They're all great movies.
Yeah.
They're all... I mean,
Howard
they
the
all
Duck,
start in the same, but they're all great movies.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck was kind of bad, but I mean...
Oh, bring it
ever
back.
That
since
doesn't
then-
count. That doesn't
It's
count
a
as the
Marvel
MC. It doesn't
movie.
count as the MCU.
But it has Marvel
Deadpool's
Studios
a Marvel
before.
movie too.
It was the low point. It's just been uphill from there, though. So.
Can't be worse than Zombievers.
Dude, they're making Zombieland 2. It's confirmed they have all the original cast.
Yes.
Are they really?
Yes, Woody Harrelson.
Mila Kunis.
Emma Stone. Jesse.
Eisenhower.
Yeah.
Is that Mila Kunis?
Eisenberg.
Eisenhowerberg. And,
Eisenhower was a president. Eisenberg.
yes.
Jesse Eisenberg.
But it's going to have them, and I'm looking forward to that so much.
That was such a good movie. I loved Zombieland.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Zombieland
so great.
was fantastic.
What was oh god.
Anything with Woody Harrelson is great.
Right?
Yeah.
Han Solo.
There's a
Next
I was
week.
about to say Han Solo. That
Next
comes
week.
out Friday,
Is
doesn't
he
it?
the villain?
No, he's one of the, like... He's the one putting the team together. That,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it looks like, at least.
Who
Find
is Donald Glover's character?
Lando.
It's Lando
Calrissian.
Calrissian.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what they're gonna do in this movie that I'm pretty sure is explain the bet that like Han and Lando made, where Han ended up getting the Falcon.
Really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, and people were complaining a lot about
That-
watching
Because
when they
it
saw the trailer. They were like, "It's not the Falcon. I'm upset."
Okay.
And
Nerd moment here because I want a Millennium Falcon so bad. Those are cargo bay doors. The front where like it comes to the like triangular point.
Yeah.
That's where the cargo bay is. So yeah, it probably opens and closes.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe something happens and the door gets stuck open. I don't know.
That'd be hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, that
Like
and,
a funny little...
And Han Solo, why would you fix it?
Yeah,
It works, right? I can
not my
fly.
problem.
Yeah, right. I like it this way.
Yeah,
Gives it
I like the gap.
I get a breeze.
I mean, you're in space. It's not like you have wind resistance.
Yeah, true. But you also have, oxygen. Oxygen in the ship that you kind of need.
No, but
Screw that.
Yeah.
I love Wookiees. Can we just talk about that? I love Wookiees.
Your grandmother was at the IHOP dinner.
That was funny. Okay, my girlfriend's black, and we were at IHOP, and we were sitting there at dinner, and my girlfriend and I were having a side conversation, just the two of us. But
About like dieting or something like.
yeah, my whole family was there. My mom, my dad, my
Yeah.
sister, and myself. Austin was there beside me, on the other side of me. My girlfriend was to my right at the end of the table. My dad's two sisters and his mom were there. And
Yeah.
my grandmother is the perfect old lady. Like, she is Mrs. Claus. She's hysterical because you don't expect it.
Yeah.
Because she's very sweet, and then she says some random crap, and it's hysterical. But we were sitting there talking, like in a side conversation, and we were talking about dieting or something like that. Or
It was something to the extent of like, she like insulting herself, saying that she was unattractive. Like she could send people pictures of herself, like of her face, and it would make them lose their appetite. They won't eat, and they'll lose weight.
yeah, it was like, I'm so unattractive, I can make people lose their appetite. That was kind of the whole basis
Yeah.
behind it. Thank you for saying that, because I forgot what it was. But and she was like, I mean, anytime you're craving chocolate, I can just send you a selfie. That's the sentence that broke the silence of the family dinner. And my grandmother just went, "Oh, okay." And we lost it. I've never seen a black person turn that red.
Oh wow.
She was so embarrassed. She's sitting there apologizing, saying like, "No."
And my dad's family is losing it laughing. They don't care. It's hysterical. To them.
Yeah.
And it was one of the funniest moments.
And I think that was the first time Galen met your
That was the first time she met my grandma.
Yeah.
And she embarrassed the crap out of herself. That's funny.
Yep. It was because like
But
it
that's
wasn't
like-
what
that's
she meant, but it's what everybody heard because it was
Yeah.
the only part that everybody heard because everybody stopped talking at that second.
Yeah.
It was
but it's like
hysterical.
the instant like rite of passage. Like, you're part of the family now.
Yeah. No, like they've accepted her. And then a few months later, no, like a month later, we went to my aunt's house. for
Oh,
Christmas.
that reminds me of so
Yes.
when at my girlfriend's birthday party, right?
Yeah.
They're talking about rite of passage.
Yeah.
So I'm meeting the whole family, and got into a kind of a word argument spat with her drunk cousin at this point.
Okay.
And I don't know how I got to this point, but he's all like, "If you're a real man, show me." Like, so he's like, starts unbuckling his pants and like starting shipping down his pants, and I was like, "All right, whatever." And so I like the very first thing is I undo my belt and I drop my drawers, and my girlfriend's like, "Get out!" I was like, I gotta prove myself somehow, and like all her entire family start losing it because they had no idea that I was actually gonna do that.
That was amazing.
And, no.
That's awesome. I wish I could have seen that.
No.
Not that, but
No,
like
yeah, no.
the encounter.
The video proof.
I mean, I was still wearing my underwear, but it was just like the.
Shit.
But no, it was definitely one of those things where it's all like, "All right, boy."
One of those
I
days
think they'll fit in.
Drop your drawers.
It's like,
Drop your drawers and you're one of us.
that split second where he has to contemplate whether he's going commando or not. Like,
Yeah. Did I put underwear on before I left the house?
who cares? Like,
It's
too late.
Living in the moment.
YOLO.
No,
Got any
Go
more
ahead.
topics?
I was gonna say the rest of the summer, like movie lines up just for this summer, like because you have Han Solo coming out next week, Jurassic World 2 comes out
June
like,
22nd.
Oh.
June 22nd.
Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out in
July 7th.
Yeah, July. Damn, why do you have these like?
I was in the theater like a day ago, and
Yeah,
I
so
saw
was
them.
I,
I
but
saw
I
them
don't
pop
remember
up.
the day.
Oh, because I specifically looked up the one for Jurassic World, and I just
Right.
remembered the one for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I
Yeah.
probably won't know anymore.
Please say one more that he
I
knows.
was trying to come up with one. That was like that's the end of my.
August 13th. Sorry, I don't know.
No, what's the next? Okay? Ant-Man and Wasp, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't they release 3 in a year now, or is it just 2?
I think the 3.
What was
Black Panther,
yeah.
Infinity War, that one.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
That leaves the last like back half of the year open though.
Mm. I don't know if they're going to do anything. I don't know of anything that's been announced. I know Marvel comes out
When is- Yeah.
March 9th,
Okay.
confirmed. Or it might not be the 9th, but I know it's in March,
And
confirmed.
then
Infinity War's
War
next
2
May.
will be
Next May or June.
Yeah. Oh, it takes so long.
I'm glad
that
that I want to see it, but I'm glad that I have to wait a year.
I am
'Cause you're also
too.
gonna be
I'd be
spending all
broke.
Yeah.
They came out like 1 week
Oh,
after
that's
that.
the biggest problem right now is that they're releasing some masterpieces out right
Yeah,
now, and
they're bringing back oldies.
yeah,
Not in the Marvel, but like
just
the Jurassic World series, the Star Wars stuff, all that. Kind
how
of
many movies do you think Jurassic World's going to come out with?
There's
They're
probably-
going to make a trilogy.
This is probably going to be the second one, yeah. And then I know it's the second one, but it's probably going to be
The second
the
trilogy.
second of the 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
they'll probably make it the last one.
I don't know. They'll probably give it a break. They might do something again later after that. But it depends what they do with like the underlying like antagonist that's been in every Jurassic Park movie.
Well, I know in this
Wasn't
one,
this one's like a volcano? Isn't that?
No.
No.
In the trailer, it's they're starting to like the company that brings them in to try to save
Engine.
Blue. They're basically kidnapping all of the dinosaurs and selling them.
Yeah, like, because if you go back and watch the original 3 movies, it's the company that pays the big guy to steal the embryos.
Yeah.
Then they get the rights to the islands after the whole thing crashes after the first movie, and they try to send people to the other island to get dinosaurs to make a park in LA or San Francisco, whatever.
That's when the T-Rex is like
Goes-
roaring over the back of the house.
Yeah, eats the dog.
Yeah.
And
I completely forgot about that movie, like
yeah.
almost
That's
entirely.
my favorite one.
The second one,
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it all the way through in
I have that trilogy
years.
too.
Oh yeah, no, I've watched all of them. So.
The one I watched the most was the third one.
But yeah, so that's that company.
Yeah.
Again, same company. And then in the third one, the only mention there is because they're looking. That's the rescue mission. They're trying to find the boy that got stranded on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Spinosaurus, the big dinosaur with the fin, wasn't on Engine's list of dinosaurs, which means they were doing genetic experimentation off book.
Yeah.
So that's that
Whoa.
in there. And then in Jurassic World, the doctor that's the head of all the genetic research, he's being paid by that other company that whisks him away in the helicopter with
Yeah.
his research, saving it.
Because they were trying to find the top predator so that they could
Yeah.
sell it. And that's why they're coming full
Or
circle.
for military contracting,
Yeah,
which
they're-
is essentially the same.
They're trying to make them battle raptors, is what they're trying to do with Blue and everything.
Yeah.
Because
So-
they're trained, they're trying to use them as weapons.
And that's why they made the Indominus raptor based, because they thought it could be like loyally trained.
Yeah.
And
like them.
And they kind of touch on it a little bit, and it's that they crossbred the dinosaur DNA with modern day animals. So they're already not purebred dinosaurs.
Yeah.
No,
and it had the theme park useless features of being able to hide its thermal signature and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they were kind of like, why can it hide itself?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh shit.
So that's what I'm curious about in the second one. Like, because I'm pretty sure you see this part in the trailer where they throw open the door and there's a T-Rex strapped down, and they all look surprised. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to have another, like, it's going to be that company trying to be greedy.
Well, because I've seen, I think every trailer for it that they've had out.
Been like 2.
I don't watch trailers.
I do. I have to.
That's one of the things.
It depends on the movie.
My brother actually, yeah, I've seen Venom. I've seen a couple of, like, when they're like first off trailers, but when it comes to like sequels or any of the Marvel movies, I've completely stopped watching trailers because I'm sick and tired. And my brother's the one that like just brought it up to me. He's like, try watching a movie without watching the trailers, and it's like then you're none of the big surprises, none of the big reveals are ruined for you.
Yeah, but I mean, it just gets me excited, and it makes me kind of know when they're coming out. So.
Or you can be like us when we went to go see Amazing Spider-Man 2. We're standing in line because the theater had emptied, and 2 guys walk out, 2 little high schoolers walk out. Man, I can't believe that Gwen Stacy died like that.
See?
I'm like, really, dude? There's a line of people here waiting to watch the movie. You just watched opening weekend, and you're just going to come out talking about, like, the biggest event of the movie.
Coming from the guy that wanted to walk out and tell the entire crowd after Infinity War that Loki dies.
Did I, though?
Yeah,
No.
but you commented on it.
There
You brought it up.
Around.
Yes, there were.
There wasn't people that were within earshot that hadn't seen the movie.
There were people that were like with us in the movie. But in the second one, you see them in an auction, like the trailer for the new Jurassic World. You see them in an auction with like an ankylosaur in a cage, and they're breeding another one. It's like a mini Indominus raptor thing that they're kind of teasing in the trailer, and it's kind of gotten loose.
I wonder what they're gonna go with. I wonder, like, are they gonna have like an actual multiple countries that are gonna like go after each other? Like, I wonder what in that world they're probably going like.
Well, they're going with Owen, Chris Pratt's character, being kind of the savior and like saving.
No, I mean like no. If they're gonna do the trilogy, then I'm going for like the big picture.
Yeah.
Like, what's the ending sequence for this trilogy? Like, what's the big daddy?
I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, I think this one's going to kind of follow the original second movie, where you have like the group that's trying to take the dinosaurs off the island, but then there's also the group that the original owner, sent in to try to like prevent that.
Yeah. You think the third of this trilogy, if they make a trilogy, is going to be a kid that got stuck on one of the islands?
No, I hope not.
Because literally they are repeating themselves.
Yeah, I know, and they did the same thing with the new Star Wars trilogy.
Yep, they are
pretty bad with the first movie that came out.
And I think they did that one 100% on purpose, though.
I do too. There's no way they couldn't have.
Like where they were just trying to have like that homage, where they have
because the second one was by far way.
Oh, it was so good.
Like compared to like Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah,
it was way different.
Yeah.
So
I heard a lot of people say bad things about that movie.
Well, okay, I work with a guy who absolutely hates it, and it's because it wasn't up to his expectations. Because he is like a Star Wars fanatic. Luke was like the greatest person ever of all time.
I hated the fact that how Luke died.
He just faded away.
He just faded.
Same way Yoda died.
Good Stark.
And we've come full circle.
That's how the Marvel and Star Wars universes cross.
Yeah, dude.
No, but I mean, it's the same. I don't have a problem with that because he became a Jedi Master. That's how Yoda died. Yoda fades. That's how Obi-Wan died in the original movie. He faded.
Okay. And so, like, they gave up the ghost.
He's
they gave up the
He's part
midichlorians.
of the Force. He's part of the Schwartz now.
Say the Schwartz be with ya.
Spaceballs the flamethrower.
What time are we at?
We are at an hour. Just at
An hour? All right.
What's this next topic? We can get off the movie biz.
I was gonna bring up Black Ops 4.
All right.
Black Ops 4 is set to release August 12th.
Will be the biggest.
Let me guess.
selling game
The
of
logo is one more line.
Yeah, it actually is. It is. I mean, you're looking at it right now.
Yeah,
but
I know. I'm totally...
the logo is another line, which I mean, I'm not too upset about. But I mean,
No, I just
they could have come up with something better.
A little more original.
Yeah, a little more original.
Like seriously, they could have went with
IV?
one line and a V. Yeah, IV.
Yeah,
That would have been interesting.
because it's their lifeline. Activision needs something. Is Activision on this? Actually,
I think so.
I know Treyarch is, but I don't know. I actually don't think that Activision is with them.
They're not.
I actually don't think that Activision is.
Well,
they are. Never
yeah, I
mind.
was
They
gonna
are.
say Activision's the publisher, I think.
Well, yeah, but I thought that somebody. See, yeah, you're right. They are the
'Cause
publishing. I was
yeah.
thinking that they were
So
developing
it's always,
it because I
and
remember.
it switches between Treyarch and Infinity Ward is what it was, right?
Because I remember Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare were made by two different companies
Yeah.
after Infinity War stepped down.
Yeah.
And that was the big turning point. 'Cause they were like, we don't know how Call of Duty is going to do.
Well, here's the problem though. It's Call of Duty. Every year, it's the biggest selling game.
Well, yeah, because
blows
it's
every
because it's a
other game.
fad now. It's the game. Like it's the same thing. It's the big ticket Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo. Those were the big games when they came out, and they're still the big games.
Oh yeah, and
The thing I like about
also
Halo
GTA
is
5.
it's made
Also
to
GTA.
last.
And yeah, the GTA series. Sorry.
yeah.
Well, that one just always makes money. Everyone.
Oh
Because
yeah.
they're great, and they take 10 years to make the new one.
Oh yeah, they
Yes.
take a.
Well, the thing is that it was GTA 5 was supposed to release September of 2013. No, 2012,
Yeah.
and was delayed like a year and a half. It
And
was
then-
delayed like 6 times.
Because they heard about new console releases, and so they were trying to like.
Well, they probably.
They came out in 2011.
Because it came
The
out.
new
on both-
consoles came out in
I was
2011.
gonna say, and it came out on both consoles. That was one of those like cross generation.
Oh yeah, and like
games.
the stark difference is like you could see the grass in like the Xbox One, but you could not see the grass in like the Xbox.
Yeah, and like the reflections and everything.
Oh yeah.
And there wasn't a first person mode on the Xbox 360s
No.
or like the
Yeah.
previous gen.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
only a first person in the new ones.
But like, what were we talking about?
Black Ops 4, Call of Duty,
Yeah,
Activision.
We're talking about. I don't remember.
Halo. You're thinking
Oh
Halo.
yes, Halo. Yes, Halo 5 was made. It's been out for what 3 years now? It's
Halo
2 or
5 came out in
3.
2015.
Yeah, so 3
It
years.
released
and
20 in like
they
October.
still haven't even announced whether or not Halo 6 is going to come out
They did.
this year. They did. It is.
No, they didn't, I don't know about
No, it
coming out,
comes
but
out
they're
in-
teasing it and they're talking about it at E3.
And I think I heard it's scheduled for 2019.
It could be a first quarter 2019.
So
They could switch it up.
yeah, and so if
But-
they do that, but they've regularly like updated it. They haven't really filled it with content, but they
Yeah.
like improved on it.
They did for a little bit.
Yeah,
they did a
added,
few
like
events.
the Warzone firefight mode,
Yeah.
whatever.
But yeah, I mean, but Halo is an Xbox exclusive. But the Battlefield, Call of Duty, GTA, those are the cross-platform things.
Yeah.
You see where they're making a Halo Online. There's a company
Yeah, I
that's
heard
partnering with 343. They started on their own, and
I was gonna say
343
it started
almost
off
shut
as,
them
like,
down.
a free.
343 almost shut them down because they were making a Halo Online.
Yeah, and they were using like their.
But they
assets.
realized that they were doing some really good things with it, so they partnered up, and they're actually making it's coming out for free to play, or it's coming out like officially sometime 2019, I think.
PC, right?
That's cool.
It's PC. Yeah, it's a Halo Online. It's like all the different Halo maps like ever. But yeah, Halo 6 supposedly is supposed to be shown at D3. I've heard a bunch of things about that.
And
But,
someone told me that DayZ was finally coming out for Xbox at the end of this year.
No one's gonna buy it.
No, that's what I said. I was like, they missed their thunder by like 4 years.
Yeah, they were supposed. Well,
That was the first game they announced
Dean
with the
Hall,
Xbox preview.
Dean Hall, the guy that created the mod in the first place, him and his team, he got too money happy with it, and he got it in his head that everybody was always going to love his game, so he just took it under his own wing and was like, I'm going to screw it, and he's like, I'm going to make it my own, not realizing that the reason that people played it was because it was the way it was,
Yeah.
and he tried to make the standalone, and the standalone flopped, like horribly. But I think it's going to come back now.
All right, wait. So
It'll have
when are they gonna release a Cuphead 2?
I never played Cuphead. Wasn't Cuphead
It
like
just came out
wasn't
in like
it-
March or something, right?
Was that NetherRealm too?
It was
not
an,
NetherRealm.
It was
Sorry,
an
no.
indie. It was
It was one of those
It's not-
indie. It was
I
one
thought
of
it
those-
wasn't it. I thought it. I've heard people describe it as like a Dark Souls-esque game in terms of its difficulty.
Everything's Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is fantastic. Have you played Dark Souls?
No, I haven't played Dark Souls.
You would not like it.
You would not like it. No, probably not.
Because I don't like it, and I'm better than you at like video games and stuff. No offense.
No, you're absolutely correct. No, Cuphead was one of those games that it was more for the art. Like if
and there's like the old style.
Yeah, it's like why
Mega Man.
like if I had to describe it,
I've seen like gameplay of it.
It's absolutely. I believe it was originally slated to have like a mainly boss battle like gameplay.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, they decided to have like the full on like running and like it's really difficult. Like it was like the game to like to stream for a long time before Fortnite came around.
I hate Fortnite. I'm gonna throw that out there. I absolutely despise that game. I played it for a little bit and I kind of enjoyed it and it's a little bit fun. I hate it for what it is.
PUBG
was good.
I honestly I have never played.
It's good.
It's well. See, here's my thing. Between the two, like Fortnite is like the laid back version. But why do you want a laid back version of what that's supposed to be? That's supposed to be like Hunger Games, nitty gritty. You scrounge what you can find and you try to survive.
Yeah. And now it's turned into meme dances and riding rockets.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Well, see, memes ruin everything.
Don't say that. You don't mean that.
Okay. Okay. Memes ruin everything. Okay.
Ruin games.
Normie memes.
Freaking normie.
No, so like, but you know what I'm saying? Where it's like they have like, I guess memes for video games. They ruin video games.
Except I will say they were really fun in Destiny, in the Destiny games because they came out as just emotes. I know they're like that in Fortnite too, but like they came out as they had the dab in Destiny 1. They had
Thriller was one of them.
They had the Thriller in Destiny 1. They had a lot of dances.
Yeah.
They had the Hotline Bling.
Oh
The
god.
Hotline Bling dance that he did in the video. That video got deleted off of the internet. Because everybody made memes out of it.
My favorite one is the guy he's scanning like an eggplant or something at the grocery store, and so it beeps every time he like swipes it across.
Yeah, he's like beep beep beep. And then in Destiny 2 they have the Uptown Funk dance from Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Let's see, they have they have a bunch of Did you ever watch Arrested Development?
Yes.
You know
kind
when.
of.
Have you seen when Will Arnett does the
Yeah.
kind of thing? They have that dance in there.
Okay, that's okay.
They have a bunch of stuff of like dances from shows.
So they basically memed themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They realized this. I mean, they realized that it was a big kind of like not a super serious game. So they were like, let's just throw some random crap in there.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, go all the way.
Yeah. I will say Activision's in a lot of trouble though. Or not Activision. Bungie's in a lot of trouble. Destiny 2 isn't pulling in numbers.
Well, that's because all their content drops are like compared to the first game are very lacking.
Yeah, the first DLC that came out in December was not good at all. It was horrible.
Well, the most recent one, Warmind, that's got like the shortest campaign. I feel
very, very short campaign, but it has a lot of in-game longevity.
Yeah.
In terms of the escalation protocol and the raid. The raid is hard, very hard. I've only played a few things of it, but it's very hard.
So what do you think about the South Park's new game, right?
I've never played either of the South Park games or any of the South Park
That's
games.
like the only 2 games he plays. Other than Assassin's Creed.
I love the title of one of them, the fractured butthole.
It's fractured, but it's also whole.
It's fractured but whole.
Yeah.
But it's spelled fractured. It's spelled
butthole.
fractured but whole.
Yeah.
But
one T.
But it's hyphenated, so it's fractured butthole.
Oh, I love it. I love the South Park games. Honestly, I wanted to buy the second one just do you know how it opens, right?
Nope.
So when you go to select your difficulty,
is the difficulty based on race?
Yeah.
Oh my god! It was like the hardest difficulty. You're a black person.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
No, honestly, and I was watching gameplay of it, and that's what sold me. Like, I thought it was just so hilarious. I was like, I'm wasting $60 on a video game.
That wasn't 60, was it?
It was. I
Oh,
paid.
well, you got both games.
Yeah, but I got both games.
Yeah.
It came with the downloadable DLC for the
First.
All right.
the very first
So
one.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch the trailers for Black Ops 4 Zombies mode and the multiplayer trailer.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna end. I'll cut out of us. I'll cut the us watching the trailer out, and then come back afterwards.
Okay.
So we're gonna watch these real quick.
The original Zombies mode had 4 characters you could play as, and it was like set in World War II.
It started in
World at War.
It started at World at War. It started in the. It was either the third one, Shinonuma, or the fourth one, Derice, whatever it's called. And they had the characters, and then they went through into Black Ops 2.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. And then it went into Black Ops 1. They kind of revisited those characters.
Yeah, and they started adding like Easter egg story. Like you could do side missions, which
Kinda
involved
like-
sending, which like connected the maps, connected the story, and essentially, I think the original there's a German, a Japanese guy, a Russian, and American.
Okay.
And they're always like really comical, saying things like the Russians always talking about wanting to be drunk, like
In the
like
new
I'm too
one,
sober for this.
in
like,
Black Ops 3, they have the remake of Derice. And one of the lines from the German guy, he goes, "War is inevitable. War is inevitable. War is coming, for sure."
Yeah, and it's like the German guy is the scientist that accidentally created the virus, or maybe intentionally.
No, he was one of the assistants that helped the guy that created
Oh,
it,
okay.
Dr. Maxis.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like an entire underlying story, and I don't even have like a firm grasp on all of it.
Yeah. Basically, like the dogs that there's hellhounds that you fight in certain rounds. Those were the
Austin
experiment.
has a hard time. He has a hard time shooting those. He loves his dogs.
No, those are easy to shoot. Those things are terrifying. I remember because it goes, "Fetch me their souls."
So
Yeah, every time they come out, they're like the experimentation of the daughter of the scientist that did it. His daughter Sarah, I think, is either Sarah or Sally. I think it's Sarah.
The teddy bear thing.
Yeah, the teddy
that
bear
runs
thing.
through them all. Yeah.
He, her dog Fluffy, what they called it, was a German Shepherd that they used for experimentation, and that's why the hellhounds are there.
okay.
But yeah, so what are your thoughts on the multiplayer trailer? You don't really play a lot of multiplayer games.
I don't do online.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was like couch multiplayer.
Well, see, here's the thing. That game's not coming with any campaign. It's
Yeah.
multiplayer only.
It's multiplayer.
What's
all
up
it
with
is.
that?
I don't know. And
See,
That's not the first. This
Why
isn't
is
the
it-
first one, is it?
I don't know why
Where-
they're calling it a Black
this
Ops
is
game.
this is the first Call of Duty that does not have a campaign.
I don't understand why they're like putting this in with the Black Ops series, because the Black Ops series has always revolved around the Nova gas.
Yeah, the
Being-
Black Ops.
Like that's been like
That
the
happened in
central.
Wars.
Yeah, because it's in Black Ops 3 it was Corvus, the AI entity, gained emotion from being like a therapeutic machine of people that were like being experimented on with the gas, like in small doses, as they were going insane and becoming deranged, wanting to be left alone and isolated. It was like a computer program that was supposed to calm them,
Yeah.
but it started like learning their emotions and became disturbingly
sentient.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I don't understand why they're not doing a campaign. They said that they had enough multiplayer aspects, which is false because they have 3 things: zombies, multiplayer, and what they're calling Blackout, which is their battle royale.
So then, the question is how. I don't know. How do you play a video game with no campaign? Like, how is that a
I
thing?
mean, a lot of games are PUBG,
Yeah.
Fortnite.
How do I get
Fortnite
invested?
doesn't have a campaign.
Here's my thing. Are they trying to save money by like not having to write and choreograph and script and like do all these things that? Because I have
They
no
still
idea
have to
what
do
the
motion
budget is.
capture for all the
Yeah,
for all the
they
stuff.
do, but like
Just not the
That's
cinematics.
that's one of my favorite parts about playing video
That's
games.
why I got
is
the last Call of Duty.
storyline.
Yeah.
I don't really play the multiplayer. I will play the multiplayer now, but
It's like it's a deeper emotional connection to a movie.
World War II was a fantastic campaign.
Oh yeah,
it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like you're trying to save your best friend who's a Jew who has been captured by the Germans. It was in like some death camp. It wasn't Auschwitz
No,
but it was like one of the death
but
camps.
that campaign was beautiful.
Yeah.
The cinematics were phenomenal.
Character development, like the guy
Josh,
you hate
Josh,
at the beginning.
Some of the greatest like
Josh Duhamel.
scores, like the greatest like music scores are coming from video games now too.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like Halo, Battlefield,
Bungie
in general. Their scores are phenomenal.
Yes.
Destiny 1 and 2 have some of the best soundtracks besides Halo I've ever heard in video games.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like Infinity War. We were playing Destiny. We were playing the Destiny 2 campaign for the new DLC, and there's a part in one of the missions where the music sounds very, very similar
There's
to
like
the
that one line
to the Avengers. Dun dun da 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 da. Like the dun dun sounds exactly the same in the Destiny 2 campaign, and it reminded me of it, and it sat stuck in my head for about 4 days.
Yeah.
And that's all I would do when we were playing.
That's fantastic. That's the shortest, like, on the actual soundtrack for Avengers.
I don't feel good, Mr. Stark. I don't feel good.
And this is where he turns to dust and vanishes.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it because they're branching out and they're doing something completely different that they've never done before, and that's I don't like that they're buying into the whole battle royale thing and they're kind of conforming to the games of now.
I'll be curious to see if Battlefield comes with a battle royale.
It probably will because they're gonna come out with they're just gonna have to conform.
But
that's what everybody's playing.
I
now.
want a more modern.
It's where the market's going.
I want a more modern shooter. Like
Same.
that one's still kind of futuristic. It looks like it's not as bad as.
They don't have the jetpacks anymore.
Yeah,
thank God for
about
that.
Yeah.
I hated the exosuit jetpack crap.
But you can always hear when people are using it because they go.
Yeah, they always like hiss out of their back.
Yeah, but yeah, that was super annoying because you couldn't just play the game. You had to watch walls because people would be running down.
Black Ops 3 wasn't as bad as Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare were. Mm-hmm. Those were horrible with that because everybody used it as to their advantage. Black Ops 3 is not as bad. I mean, most people
not that anyone plays Black Ops 3 anymore.
Yeah, I don't really. The only people that I play Black Ops 3 to
play
play zombies.
Exosuits in World War II. That's what it needs.
Oh yeah. But yeah, they still have the exosuits, but they don't have the whole jetpack crap, which is good. But they're going back to health.
Yeah, which I don't understand
each player has 150 health.
I don't understand. And there's no regeneration.
There's stim packs. There is regeneration, but you have to use it. It's a usable thing. It's not an equipped thing where you have to choose that or something else.
Like Fallout stim packs.
You get infinite of them, but it has a slight recharge rate. Before you can use it again, but you have to press the button and you have to wait for it to recharge. It's good. I like it. I like what they're going with it.
I'll see how it.
I've seen gameplay and it looks like it's not. It's not cumbersome. It's not. It's not an out of the way thing. No. It's not like that. It's a personal.
Even Halo Reach, like it seemed like that was going to be a really terrible thing, but it actually ended up working.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it wasn't a bad thing at all.
Halo Reach was an amazing video game.
Halo Reach was amazing. I love that game so much. I kind of wish it was included in the Master Chief Collection, even though it wasn't a Master Chief game. I wish it was included in that. You see him at the very end.
You see his pod at the end being taken away.
Yeah, but their Blackout, what they're doing with that is they're incorporating different Call of Duty maps from the past, like fan favorites.
But I think they said from Black Ops history.
Could be.
I think they kind of like specifically.
It probably will.
So I was really hoping there's going to be like a small little Rust station. From Modern Warfare 2.
Same.
But after they said like Black Ops,
it could just be the Black Ops. But at that point, I feel like would they include anything from World at War? Because World at War was part of the Black Ops series. It's part of the Black Ops storyline because in Black Ops 1 he talks to Reznov.
Yeah, that's true.
And the characters and the zombies are from World at War.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they do that because I love World at War. And those are some fantastic maps. I don't know how they would incorporate them though.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
of those were like
a lot of them are Japanese and Russian.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna have like populated areas that are. There's populated areas that are, Black Ops maps inspired. But then there's gonna be the big open world, and you can use vehicles
Yeah, air, land, and sea.
Air, land, and sea.
That's going to be a new.
It's gonna be interesting.
Because you've never really.
You've never had free control over a vehicle in Call of Duty. You've had control over a vehicle in terms of you have to stay in this road, but just steer it to avoid shit. That's been a thing, but you've never had free reign over a vehicle, which is good.
Like Halo.
Yeah, like Halo and Battlefield.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be curious how like controls are.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, still to this day, Battlefield 3 had the best vehicle controls.
Absolutely.
Because I
was
could
a master.
maneuver those helicopters.
We
through
were
the tiny
masters
tunnels.
with the helicopters and planes. We were dogfights in formation. It was beautiful. It was wonderful.
Yes.
Battlefield 4 not as great, but still good.
And Star Wars.
Oh no, man!
I can't get the
Halo 1. The vehicle controls in Halo 1 were spot on.
Halo 1 through 3 had the exact same vehicle controls.
Okay, but Halo 3, playing that campaign co-op was fantastic.
Was the best experience ever. That's what I grew up on.
You get someone on the side of your Hornet and you'd be flying over, drop them on the Scarab to like single-handedly blow it up.
That was Halo 3's campaign was by far my favorite.
Yes.
Just for the co-op.
Oh,
just for everything that happened.
Honestly,
because they gave you different characters for each person that added.
made me love video games because of the general co-op.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and one of my buddies straight up would stay up for hours playing that stinking game.
Yeah. Should probably wrap it up.
All right. We'll do.
Well,
it's been fun.
Thank you guys so much for listening in. This has been the Knights of the Wrong Table. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook if you feel generous.
More coming.
More coming, absolutely. Within the next few weeks, we're going to be pumping these things out.
To be continued.
To be continued, for sure. If you're feeling generous, if you want to help us grow this podcast, grow this experience that we're trying to get going, go ahead and find us on Patreon and become a patron of us. If you want, you don't have to, but it'll be much appreciated. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. We're going to be posting on YouTube as well, so subscribe there. But yeah, anything else to add, guys?
Fade the music, brah.
Fade the music, brah.
Shut up and sit down.